Good evening, sir. A very emotional afternoon as you dedicate this highway to these 5 servicemen who lost their lives. But you continue on the work with the Essequibo situation. You're heading out later this week to meet with the Venezuelan president in St. Vincent. What are you taking to that meeting in terms of the discussions that will take place?
First of all, we take the strength and position of the Guyanese people, and that is Essequibo belongs to Guyana without any shadow of a doubt, and the controversy shall be settled at the ICJ. There's absolutely no wavering from this position, and I want to make it very clear that this is not a Guyanese position. This is a position from the Geneva Agreement. This is a position in which the United Nations Secretary General ascribed the settlement of this case to the ICJ. So this is a position that all of us have to respect.
Mr. President, my condolences. Why do you think it's necessary to meet Nicolas Maduro?
We don't live in a region by ourselves. We have respect for our bilateral partners, our regional partners. We have made it very clear our position. We are a peaceful country. Our only ambition is to secure and protect what belongs to us, and we have absolutely no difficulty meeting with any of our neighbors to ensure that we continue to talk about development, we continue to work as neighbors, coexist as neighbors, to work to ensure that this region remains a region of peace, remains a region of stability. And our regional partners requested of us to have this conversation. We have outlined very clearly where we stand in relation to the controversy, and notwithstanding that, we have also made it clear that we're not adverse to talk.
And you have said there will be no negotiation on the Essequibo, no negotiation on the case before the ICJ.
100%. We are not going to remove from the ICJ. We are not going to step out of the ICJ. We have made it very clear that this case shall be settled at the ICJ.
What is the interference of Brazil in these negotiations, and do you expect President Lula to be there?
I won't use the word interference. Brazil first of all, Brazil had requested that they would like to mediate and to have talks between the two countries. CARICOM and CELAC also made that request. Prime Minister Gonzalez has taken the lead. CARICOM in a meeting asked me to consider this meeting, and Brazil is an observer. Brazil is an important neighbor. I think that Brazil has made it very clear that they respect the 1899 agreement, they respect the rule of law, they respect the ruling of the ICJ in the provisional measures, and that is the situation must remain status quo until the ICJ determine the merits of the case before it.
Do you expect President Lula to be there?
Well, Brazil has signaled that they will be attending the meeting, and that signal is at the highest level.
But face to face with President Maduro, what can you actually talk about if you're in a position where this is not negotiable?
Well, that when we get to the talks, there's a lot still to talk about. We say we are part of the same region. If we are both concerned about the development of our country, the development of our people, there are so many things to talk about. You have the migration issue, you have climate change, you have consequential matters, and one of the important things is to ensure that this region remains peaceful and stable, and that is talking about the narrative that is not conducive for peace.
President Maduro will probably say to you, look, the Venezuelans have decided this, that Essequibo is a Venezuelan state. What will your response?
Very clear. The 1899 settled where Essequibo belongs, and it belongs squarely, firmly in the geographic space of Guyana. That's the first thing I will say. The second thing is that the Geneva Agreement provided for the UN Secretary General to appoint a place where there's controversy should be settled. He has appointed the the ICJ, and that is where we should respect, and that is where it shall be settled.
Venezuela's been looking for bilateral talks with you on this, and to a certain extent they've got that.
Well, I don't know that Venezuela has been looking for bilateral talks. I know that Guyana has always said that we are not averse to speaking in ensuring that the region remains peaceful and stable. We're not averse to demonstrating our responsible leadership, our responsible global and regional position in doing everything within our power to have the region remain peaceful and stable.
Do you expect him to pull back from his position taken last Sunday, that he will move ahead with the results of that referendum?
I don't want to preempt what he will do or preempt what will be the outcome of the discussion, but we have made it very clear that and our development partners, our allies, they have all spoken. If you look at everyone who spoke at the UN Security Council, they had a very, very strong message, and we are hoping that good sense will prevail. We are hoping that there will be a full commitment to peace, to respect for our borders, and for peace within the region.
What about when he says he's going to, PDVSA can give licenses to start developing in the Essequibo region, or it can give ID cards to people living there? Is any of this realistic?
We are not going to allow any of this to happen on the grounds of Guyana. Let me make it very clear. You can announce, you can issue, and none of this. And we have made it very clear. We're working with our allies, we're working with our partners to ensure that there is absolutely no overstepping into the sacred space of Guyana, which includes comprehensively and in totality the Essequibo.
President Atali, what do you say to Guyanese living in fear, especially in the border communities?
Well, we have been constantly talking to the Guyanese. There is absolutely no need for fear. We are ensuring that we are prepared at every level. We want peace, we are working towards peace, but we are not naive. And we have every intention to ensure the safety and security of all our people, of our borders. Every single investment is safe in Guyana. We want to encourage our investors to continue to invest as much as they want in every county of Guyana, in every region of Guyana. We have no fear about that. When you are on the side of international law, when you're on the side of principle, when you're on the side of moral, when you're on the side of ethics, when you're on the side of what is right, there is absolutely nothing to fear. We fear nothing. The world is behind us. We have good friends behind us, and we are very confident that good sense will prevail.
Did the United States commit to any military aid?
The United States is a very important strategic partner for us. We have signed an advanced defense agreement. There's a major training program, training exercises that will be conducted, has started, will continue over the coming months. One include a naval exchange and training program that will commence in the coming days, and that will be followed by a number of other programs. We are also talking to many other partners, so there will be active training programs and exchange programs that were pre-planned that would continue. And what I can say to you is that our partners are monitoring this, and they are strongly in support of Guyana.
Thank you, sir.
One thing on a separate issue, we've heard a lot from the people of Guyana that we've been speaking to the last few days, is that this is a country with the fastest growing economy in the world, and yet a lot of them say they're yet to notice it. What do you say to the people who are getting impatient?
This is a testimony. This is a testimony to us growing. When we increase, where are you from?
London.
London. Right now you're taking our nurses. Let me be clear with you. We're the fastest growing economy in the world. Please. Right now you're taking our nurses. You're taking our medical workers. You're taking our teachers. Why are you taking them? Why you don't train your own and get them ready? That question can be asked by you. You see, the developing world has been stymied. Our development has been stymied because we go through different phases. We respect London. The UK is a very important partner of ours. So sometimes in the region we ask these questions. If our nurses are so good, you should pay us for training them for you, right? So when you look at the development that is taking place, this road is a testimony. I don't know if this is the first time you're here.
No, it's the third time.
Okay, so you would understand that at one time in our country, our debt to GDP ratio was triple digit. Our interest rate for commercial loan and housing loan was above 40%. Today it is the lowest in the region. Our inflation is the lowest in the region. We have had in the last 3 years 65% increase in old age pension. We give school children grant. We give allowances for elderly. Our healthcare system is free. Our education system is free. We are moving now to free university education. We've granted 26,000 scholarships. We're opening up new infrastructure to expand the economy. Where is that money coming from?
From the state, I assume.
Thank you.
Well, if we're talking about colonialism, Maduro says ExxonMobil is the new form of colonialism in Guyana. What do you say to
Do
him?
you believe that?
My opinion doesn't matter.
Your opinion matters. And that is where the problem is. The problem happens in the world when good, sane people become silent. And that is what you're doing. As a media reporter, your opinion matters. And you should be able to tell Maduro it's absolutely ridiculous what he's saying. ExxonMobil is a global investor. ExxonMobil invested in Venezuela. Were they colonial masters when they invested in Venezuela? If they're colonial masters, why does he want Chevron and BP to invest in Venezuela now? What kind of hypocritical message is that? That is just a red herring. That is to feed the nation. That is to feed his propaganda. That is to feed the mischief. We're not going to get involved in that.
But if that's your tone, how are these talks going to go on Friday?
With what?
If that's your tone, you know,
No.
Be difficult?
My tone is very simple. My tone is as a result of your question. My tone is a result of your question. We are not a people who are. Listen, we are people with pride and honor. And if your question necessitates an answer in a tone, you can trust me. This president is going to answer you. But we are entering into the talks with goodwill. We're entering those talks wanting peace. We want peace. We're not aggressors here. Why are you trying to put us as aggressors? Why are you trying to put Guyana as the aggressor? All our journalists are here. Are we the aggressor? We are not the aggressor. We are calling for peace. We are promoting peace. We are working with every single party only for peace. That is our concern. The chief of staff of the Ghana Defense Force said that our military is to ensure this peace exists, not to go to war. Our military was not formed to go to war. It was formed to ensure that there is peace and to protect our borders. We want peace, but we must be respected. We must be respected. The question was about the fear our people face. Why must our people, who know from 1899 that their country, their borders of their country was settled, our people who are subjecting themselves to international law, international rule, to go to the ICJ, why must they live in fear? And the UK, I must say, was very strong in supporting us. You know, Lord Cameron recently issued a very, very strong statement. So the world is behind us. We don't want any conflict. We don't want any war. What we want is peace. What we want is good neighborly existence. We don't want to wake up every morning with someone threatening us. We don't threaten anyone. Have you ever heard the president of Guyana or any one of our military officials threatening anyone in Venezuela? Every day you can hear a threat coming to us. Even under those conditions, we are willing to talk. We are willing to act in a responsible manner. We are willing to act in an open and honest manner. And you have to give us credit for that. The international community must give us credit for this. We have seen many examples where when persons are given an inch, they take a yard in local context. What that means is that they come on your border and the next thing you know, they're all over in your country. I respect your question, but you have to respect our position. And my answer was based on your questions. Right?
Thank you.
Sometimes, you know, my friend, the international media shies away from what we went through as countries who went through slavery, colonization, and we are still now in a process where we have to catch up every time. We train our nurses, there's a shortage, they go somewhere else. Not your fault, it's a function of the economy. Function of the economy. But the developing world face these challenges. And we depend on good allies like the UK, the US, France. They've all spoken out. Brazil. They've all spoken out, haven't they? You think that one of them or any of them are not serious about their position? Come on, you have to be you have to have a mind of your own and opinion too. You can't just be a reporter and don't have an opinion.
Not in this position. I'm professional.
No, I want you to be professional, but professionalism doesn't stop you from speaking the truth. Being professional is speaking the truth.
I'm giving you a voice. Look.
I know. I'm happy you're giving me a voice, but you also need to add your voice. You also need to speak the truth. You also need to speak the facts, because that is what the media outlet must do. They must help to present the facts. And what are the facts? The facts are that the border was settled in 1899. The facts are that the ICJ is part of the Geneva Agreement. All right, my friend?
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Very nice meeting you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And there you had President Tirfanali speaking briefly with the media at the end of the commissioning of the new Heroes Highway, linking the east coast of the Mirror to the East Bank. This section stretches from Eccles all the way to Great Diamond. And of course, you know, Eccles runs on that way all the way to Mandela Avenue. So this is the new Heroes Highway. It's named now. This is Gordon Mosley reporting. Have a good night. Catch you tomorrow on the radio.